Cholesterol doesn't just build up in your arteries. That's an oversimplification, and it hides what's actually dangerous. What really happens is far more complex and far more damaging. Inside your blood vessels, cholesterol triggers a slow, silent chain reaction. Your immune system gets involved, inflammation begins, cells start to die and accumulate. And over time, this process can transform a healthy, flexible artery into something rigid, narrowed, and unstable. The real danger isn't just blockage, it's what happens when that buildup suddenly breaks apart. Because when it does, your body reacts instantly, and that reaction can cut off blood flow in seconds. This is what actually leads to heart attacks and strokes. In a healthy artery, blood flows smoothly through a wide, flexible channel. The inner lining, called the endothelium, acts as a protective barrier. It regulates what enters the vessel wall and keeps circulation stable. Red blood cells move efficiently, delivering oxygen throughout the body. The walls expand and contract with each heartbeat, maintaining steady pressure. Under normal conditions, cholesterol is also present in the bloodstream. But it doesn't just float freely, it's carried by lipoproteins. Some of these particles are helpful, others can become harmful under certain conditions. As long as the arterial lining remains intact, this system stays balanced. But once that lining is disrupted, even slightly, the entire environment inside the artery begins to change. And that's where the real problem starts. When the inner lining of the artery becomes damaged, whether from high blood pressure, smoking, or metabolic stress, it becomes more permeable. This allows low-density lipoprotein particles, or LDL, to slip into the vessel wall. Once inside, these particles don't just stay inactive. They begin to accumulate in the subendothelial space. Over time, they undergo chemical changes, becoming oxidized and more reactive. At this stage, the body recognizes them as a threat, and that's when your immune system steps in. What started as a small structural weakness now becomes a biological response. And that response is what drives plaque formation forward. As oxidized LDL builds up, immune cells are recruited to the area. White blood cells, particularly macrophages, enter the vessel wall and begin consuming these particles. But there's a problem. These cells aren't designed to handle large amounts of oxidized cholesterol. As they absorb more and more, they become overloaded, transforming into what are known as foam cells. These foam cells accumulate rapidly, creating a fatty streak along the artery wall. At the same time, inflammation intensifies. Chemical signals attract even more immune cells, amplifying the response. This is no longer just cholesterol sitting in an artery. It has now become an active inflammatory process. As foam cells continue to accumulate, the artery wall begins to thicken. Smooth muscle cells migrate into the area and start producing fibrous tissue. This creates a structured buildup known as plaque. Over time, the plaque grows larger, pushing inward and narrowing the artery. Blood flow becomes less efficient, oxygen delivery decreases, but the process is still silent. Most people don't feel anything at this stage. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, the plaque continues to evolve, becoming more complex and unstable. And the risk isn't just the narrowing itself. It's what the plaque is made of and how easily it can rupture. Not all plaques are the same. Some develop a strong, stable outer layer. Others form a thin, fragile cap. These unstable plaques are the most dangerous because at any moment, that thin surface can tear. When it ruptures, the inner contents, rich in lipids and inflammatory material, are suddenly exposed to the bloodstream. Your body reacts immediately. It treats this rupture like an injury, and that triggers the next phase, one that can rapidly become life-threatening. Once a plaque ruptures, platelets rush to the site. They begin forming a clot to seal the damage. But inside an already narrowed artery, this clot can quickly grow large enough to block blood flow completely. When that happens, oxygen can no longer reach the tissue beyond the blockage. In the heart, this results in a heart attack. In the brain, it leads to a stroke. And this entire sequence, from rupture to full blockage, can happen in minutes. Cholesterol damage doesn't happen all at once. It builds slowly, over years, without obvious warning. But the consequences can appear suddenly and without notice. Understanding what's happening inside your arteries helps explain why prevention matters. Because once this process reaches its final stage, the outcome can be immediate and severe.